remember? The first one was RGB. RGB for red, green, and blue. Then HSL, hue, saturation, and lightness. Then HSV, hue, saturation, value. All these are color spaces or color systems meant for monitors. Then for printing, we specified another system called CMYK. Can you expand it? Cyan, magenta, yellow, black. Cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. These are the four colors used for printing. Why black is separately provided in printing? Because most of the content is printed in black and only a small portion is normally printed in color. Therefore, they have separated black color from the other color combination. That is the reason why they have provided 1K extra. This color space contains four values: cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. Okay. Then transparency values are specified using alpha. Alpha 0 stands for no transparency. Alpha 255 stands for full transparency. Anything between 0 and 255 is classified as semi-transparent. Semi-transparent. Alpha value between 0 and 255. Then we specify the pixel density using two terms. One is PPI, pixels per inch. You take 1 inch of space, 1 inch length, and count the number of pixels. It is called the PPI, pixels per inch. Okay. Then for printing, we specify another term called DPI, dots per inch. DPI stands for dots per inch. These were the terms we covered yesterday. Then we come to image editing. Image editing as a theory. Then we will take up image editing as a practical tool. After completing JavaScript, we'll go on to image editing. Only then shall we enter PHP. Python. We have Python and Java as the programming languages for our second semester. Therefore, we will take up image editing followed by Python followed by Java. Okay, ma. What do they say? Digital images are generated through digital photography, digital image editing software, scanning of painted images, etc. You can create digital images in several ways. The easiest and the most common way is to take a photograph. You take a photograph using your mobile, you get a digital image. You get a digital image. Then you may draw it. You may draw it using professional drafting software. Corel Draw is the commercial software, commercially available software. Inkscape is also used for image editing as well as SVG graphics, vector graphics. Then there are some CAD tools. CAD, computer aided design and drafting tools. Computer aided design and drafting tools. We can very easily draw several shapes using CAD tools. For example, you wish to create a building drawing, a drawing of the proposed building. You can easily draw the building using a CAD software. Then you wish to create a design for your dress, for the new design. You may easily draw it without using pen and pencil on using CAD software. And you can take a large size printout of it on a plotter. A plotter permits large scale printing of any object drawn using CAD software. Okay. Then there are even some packages which can, when you present the drawing to the CAM machine, computer aided manufacturing machine, they will convert the drawing into real-time objects, real-world objects. You wish to create a pattern on a cloth, on a piece of cloth. You simply draw it, then send it to the machine. It will create the pattern on the cloth. It will cut the cloth as per the measurements. That is the reason why several factories are able to mass produce dresses at low cost. Even building components are now manufactured using 3D printing technology. 3D printing technology. You draw any object, you send it to a printer. Instead of printing on a paper, it creates a real world object. It creates a real world object. Okay. Then, what is the necessity for editing of digital images? Photographs may have low exposure. That is, the lighting may not be sufficient when we took the photograph. whereas we can make corrections after taking the photograph. And overexposure is another reason. Overexposure means the lighting may be too heavy and the objects may not be clearly visible in the output. We may correct the overexposure and underexposure conditions. Okay, poor lighting and excessive flooding, excessive lighting. Then some photos may require certain minor touch up. Minor touch up. Somebody may want a quote to be put on the photograph. Somebody may want a text to be put on the photograph. You may easily do it using the photo editing software tools. Somebody wants to remove certain portions. Somebody may have a pen in the pocket. The person wishes that the pen is removed from the pocket. It looks shabby. I don't want this pen to be visible on the photograph. You can remove it after taking the photograph. Minor touch-up work. Then merging or splitting of digital images. You may have a photograph which you need in a different location. You may take a copy of the photograph and then you may bring it into another set of photos, another group of photos. It's possible. Okay, you take out something from one photograph and you place it in another photograph. Normally they use it for marriage albums. They take photographs in certain locations, whereas they take the photos to some some what some memorable tourism places like Eiffel Tower. They would place it against what is it? Eiffel Tower or some large structure. Okay, done. Then resizing or scaling of images. You have provided some photograph when you applied for ITA admission. Whereas the photos may not pass through the government standards. DGT specifies that your photo should be less than 100 kilobyte in size. Whereas your photos may be large due to what? Quality of your camera. Then you have to reduce the size of the photograph, reduce the file size of the photograph using what? Using photo editing software. Photoshop is the most popular photo editing software. Whereas we have another free software called GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program. GNU Image Manipulation Program. This software will also do whatever is possible using Photoshop. Whatever is done through Photoshop can be done through GIMP, and this GIMP is available free of cost. And then there is another popular graphics editing software called CorelDRAW. CorelDRAW is a professional level vector graphic tool. Whereas we have the equivalent, free software equivalent in the form of Inkscape. Inkscape. We call the free software equivalent of CorelDRAW as Inkscape. It's used for editing large banners. When we create large banners, the text may require what? Arbitrary enlargement or reduction in size. We may use Inkscape for creating such banners. This banner was created using Inkscape. The banner we have in our practical room was created using Inkscape. And the banner we have placed for the visit of our IG was created using Inkscape. Have you seen the banner? I have posted it in the group also, the JPG version, and the banner was placed in some corner of the podium. All those were possible using which software? Inkscape. It's also what? It's also a vector graphics program, SVG, standard vector graphics program. Then creating printable albums and layouts. You can create albums using photo editing software. These are the tasks we will have for our photo editing section. Okay, we will have a software packages like GIMP, Adobe Photoshop, CorelDRAW, etc. help in editing of digital images. Okay, these are some of the software packages. Whereas we will be using only two. One is GIMP, which is available free of cost. The other one is Inkscape, which is also available free of cost. Whereas they are available free of cost, it does not mean they are inferior to any other package. They can do whatever is possible through larger commercial packages. The only difference is we will not have much support. When we have some problems, we may not have much support for such packages. Okay. Shall we move on? Hmm? Maybe I have to provide you with some examples in order to understand whatever is called image editing. Hmm? Okay, we will have some exposure to whatever is called touch up for photograph. We have no. You just take some photograph. Maybe this one. I enlarge this. I open it using GIMP. Open bits. This was used for our. Do you remember this photograph? Where did we use it? Magazine page. We used it for our magazine page. I applaud your memory capacity, and I am very happy about the way you remember all. What is it? All taught content in the wrong manner. Mhm. Already told you it requires a special skill to forget everything very easily. You seem to have that skill. Hmm? You forget everything so easily. Okay. We have this photograph. I wish to make it more vibrant, more colorful, brighter. I think this one is not so bright for me. I want this photograph to look brighter. I can go to colors menu, then levels and curves. I will go to levels and curves. I can directly edit brightness, contrast and other things, whereas levels and curves are the two basic ways for editing a photograph. I'll go to curves. You just take a look at this. The graph. Do you see this graph? Do you see this graph? This graph. The mild graph which starts from here and goes to this place. It means you have more pixels in this area and less pixels in this area. I have to make the more vibrant pixels to dominate. I will. You just see what happens when I drag this. Do you see what happens? Don't you see this? I can make the image dark and dull. I can make the image bright and vibrant. It's possible through these. What are they called? Curves. Okay. And this curve defines the area in which we have to concentrate. The area with the peak values should be made higher. Should be made higher in order to make the photo look more vibrant. And you reduce this, the photo will become duller and duller. You will find that the photograph is worthless. It's so simple to correct a photograph. Whatever I will tell you now. Brightness contrast values. You can correct the brightness and contrast values through curves. Through curves or directly through colors and brightness contrast values. You have brightness and contrast values. You just take a look. I can increase the brightness and later on I can increase the contrast. The thing is, brightness and contrast should be proportionately increased. They should not be increased arbitrarily. Suppose I reduce the brightness and increase the contrast. Look at the shabby way the photo looks. Then I come back, I increase the brightness, everything washed out. When the brightness increases, everything is washed out. When the contrast increases, everything is too dark. The balance should be maintained. Balance between brightness and contrast values should be maintained. Okay. Brightness and contrast can be adjusted to make proper changes to the photograph. Then brightness, contrast and threshold values. Threshold values means I go to this brightness, then okay, it's not available here. I'll go to this one, curves, and I can change the, sorry, not the curves, levels. I'll go to levels. Levels menu. I have the same curvature appearing here. Whereas I have the option to remove certain portions of the image. See what happens. This is called threshold value. When the pointer is dragged to less density spot, the image becomes dull. Whereas I can safely remove whatever is unwanted in this area because these pixels do not contribute anything to me. Therefore, I can safely reduce this portion and make the image more vibrant. Do you follow me? What I have done? Following this curve, wherever the pixels are not available, I remove that portion and I bring only the portion which is inside this zone between this pin and the other pin. These two are the pins. Okay. Between these two pins, I can bring the densest portion and make the image look very vibrant. Very vibrant. Therefore, there are certain ways in which we can make adjustment to digital images, photographs which have already been taken. Okay, the first way is to edit the brightness and contrast value. Then the second way is to edit the brightness, contrast and levels. Then you can use curves. You can use curves also to adjust the images. All these are different names meant for adjusting the same parameters. One may find curves to be easy. One may find levels to be easy. One may find brightness contrast to be easy. Whereas all these are different ways of doing the same task. Okay, we will go back. Then brightness and contrast. We have already seen this. We will not repeat this. Okay, then what are the tools available in photo editing software packages? Whether it is GAMP or Photoshop, they contain certain basic tools. I'll show you those tools which are easy for our express usage. That is, when we have less time, we will find that certain tools are easier for us to work with. I don't want this dog to appear with this hero. I may remove this hero from this context. I don't want this hero to look in the to be placed in the shabby place. What can I do? I can take this one. This is called pre-selection tool. And there is scissors selection tool also available in this. I choose pre-selection tool. I can start from here. I place certain dots to select only the portions of the hero which are relevant to me rather than those which are not needed. And normally it takes a larger amount of time, whereas I do it in the most haphazard manner. Professionals may take much more time for completing tasks like this. I carve out the shape of the hero using this pre-selection tool. Pre-selection tool. I don't want this dog to appear in the photo. Therefore, I remove whatever portion covers the dog. Do you follow me now? I have what? I have excluded the portion in which the dog appears. Hello, it's not in Instagram follow, madam. When I say follow, your face brightens up. Keep your mind under control. Okay, ma. We come down, we come down, we come down. I am making very coarse selection. Coarse selection means I am not making finer selection now. I simply want to do it as fast as possible. I reduce the time and reduce the quality of my output. I don't bother about it. You just take a look at this. We will take the hero to some other better location without a dog. And I have come round this hero. Now, when I place this final dot on the original, the hero has been selected. Now I press Ctrl C, normal copy, or you go to edit menu, you have copy, edit, copy. You go to edit and then press copy. It's up to you. And you wish to bring him out of this context. Go to file, create from clipboard. This hero has come out. And I'm not satisfied with this because the hero is all alone. No context. I wish to make him seated on some good location. What shall I do? I shall look for uh, some some place in which I can. Uh, shall we make him to? Oh, sorry. Shall we make him to sit over here on this image? The image. Do you remember this image? This was used for our first semester word practical. Hmm? This is something I have forgotten the name of this place. Swamp. Some swamp. Okay. Enlarge this. I will make him seated near this bird. It's possible. What shall I do? I go here, press Ctrl A, press Ctrl C, then press Ctrl V. The image is too large. I have to reduce the size. I will go to tools, then transform to scale. Then I will scale him down. Instead of px pixels, I will scale him down. I'll make him small. Small enough to fit within this. Wait. I'll press scale. Wait for a while. I press this move tool. He will come down. I'll make him smaller, even smaller. I go to tools again. I choose transform tools. I choose scale. See what happens. I can make him smaller. 100 pixels. Sorry, 10 is too small. I'll invite 100 pixels to be the size. Scale. Now I press this one. I drag him down and I can place him just near this bird. I can make him seated just near this bird. Maybe I should make him bit smaller, isn't it? To fit him inside the context. Scale. It's up to you. You are the creator when it comes to image editing. You do the work. Okay. Then I press scale again. Now reduce the size. See what happens. Your hero has come to this swamp. Come down to this swamp. I press this one. Then this one. You see him seated on the swamp near a bird. Do you notice much difference? Do you find that he was sitting near a dog rather than this bird? Do you find anything different? You don't find it. Whereas you cannot do it without the help of photo editing software. It's so simple, so easy. Okay. That is Mark tool. There are certain tools. Lasso tool. This is the lasso tool. Whatever tool, this one is called the lasso tool in Photoshop. We call it free transfer, free select tool. And Mark B. Look, this one is the Mercury tool in Photoshop. Rectangular selection. It's called the Mercury tool in Photoshop. Whereas rectangular selection is not recommended for photo editing jobs. We need free selection. And then there is this magic band. Magic band. Do you remember? I have recently told you about the magic band, and I have removed certain unwanted portions from an ice cream. The same is possible using magic band. Okay. Magic band selects colors which are needed for our photographs. You just look. This is crop tool. I can select only this portion and remove the remaining portion. I don't want the entire image to be available. I can choose this portion and press enter. The unwanted portion is gone. I can crop the image. I can crop the image. This is called cropping. I have pressed Ctrl Z to remove the crop option. Then quick selection tool. Quick selection and pre-selection are available under the same category. These are the two selection tools. One is the pre-select tool. The other one is lasso tool, scissor tool. This is quick selection tool. Crop tool. Crop tool I have told you. Eyedropper tool. This selects eyedropper. This is the eyedropper tool. Color picker. They call it the color picker. Here the color is black. I want this color to look like the shirt color of this person. You just see this shirt color. Then this tree color. I can bring any color to the palette using this they call this color picker here, pen tool, eyedropper tool or pen tool in Photoshop. Then spot healing brush. You have certain portions which are overexposed or underexposed. You can heal certain spots. Spot healing tool. Whereas we will not go into all those options. You simply understand that it's possible for us to edit digital images. Overexposed images can be corrected. Underexposed images can be corrected. And you can bring somebody from a portion of a picture into another entirely new environment and make people believe that the person was in some other place. That is the reason why digital photo editing is considered to be a dangerous job. People may seek us to do certain unwanted things. We must never say yes to all those persons. Okay, it's a dangerous job. You invite danger when you desire for money and reward. You never do that which is beyond the legal limits because such mistakes are heavily punishable. Heavily punishable. You must remember that any digital editing may end a person up in unwanted places like the prison. Okay. Heavy fine and imprisonment are due for unwanted, vulgar photo editing. Okay. With this, we close the theory portion. We will not deliberate upon all these things. We will come back for practical portions. We will come back to practical and then we will understand all these things. These descriptions are no longer available in your theory portion. They have been included only for practical purpose. Okay, therefore, I am not deliberating much upon these. We will come to this portion using when we have the practical exercises, when we take up the practical exercises. Okay, whatever the exercise you will consider. You have a little look at this. You will create postcard size or maxi size photos and then passport size photographs. Passport size photos. Then create an album. Then create a banner. Create a banner. Then you can create even videos using Photoshop. Whereas I don't know whether we will go on to video creation using Photoshop. We will stop here. Whereas even in, what is it? Video editing is possible. Video editing is possible. Whereas it's beyond our level. We do not have video editing in our